All right, hello and welcome back to my channel. So a little bit of a disclaimer, we're starting renovations in my house this week, and so I apologize if there is additional background noise. So let's get into the content. So this is a new series I'm starting where I'm going to show you kind of what it's like in a particular day working in my memory keeper. So I am currently in the Hobonichi Cousin Avec. And the first thing I'm doing, which I've never really shown, is I printed stickers. So I have on my camera roll, I have photos that I would like to print. And I have a template in Canva that I have rectangle shape and a square shape. And so I will print them out on one like standard piece of sticker paper, and then I will go through and cut them out. Though as of this voiceover, I actually have a Cricut now, and so I don't have to do this, which I didn't like. I've done it with an X-Acto knife and a straight edge, and I preferred that over this. I kind of just did this for the camera because I thought it would be easier, but I didn't really like it. So yeah, but I have tested it with my Cricut, and it has worked so much better. I am very excited to have a Cricut now. It was an unexpected thing. I kind of had planned for it to be something that I'd purchase over like in the summer, like more like July, but someone recommended that I check Facebook Marketplace, and I did, and I got a really great deal for one, and it's been working out splendid. So yeah, different technique, but I'm doing the same thing. So I am just taking those stickers and kind of placing them in the spot first. I like placing the ephemera and the stickers, especially first, and then going in and labeling and writing second. I like to incorporate headers using the Pentel Fude Touch sign pen, or with my fountain pen, I have a TWSBI Eco T, and that is in the broad that I'm using. And yeah, so yeah, I'm just going in through the dailies, and you'll see some days are much more filled than others, but we make it work. So yeah, I had a lot of stickers for this day. You'll see sometimes it's just trying to fill up a lot of space. Sometimes I feel like the 1 page per day A5, and I think a lot of people feel this similarly, where the A5 just seems like a lot some days, and some days it just feels like it's not enough. So I think a topic for another video will be that I'm kind of contemplating changing things up a bit, but I'm not going to talk about that here because I got to work through some things on my end before I start planner hopping. So yeah. Sometimes too, if there's like a big event, I'll put in the headers as well to kind of remind myself, because it's hard with having the photo printer. It was nice because it was individual, so I could just print out a photo when I needed it, but this has saved me so much money and stuff, and it's also made my memory keeper less bulky, because the Canon Ivy, the sticker paper is very thick compared to this printer, paper that I've gotten. So it's nice, but I just have to wait until I have like a full page's worth of stickers. But I have figured out a way to kind of combat that. I used the template that I printed and I set it on my Cricut to cut like cardstock. So I'm gonna try and test that out next month, where I use it to kind of estimate where the stickers will go and then kind of write in there like, hey, this is the spot for this, sticker. And then when I print it out, just going in later. And I think that'll help combat that, because I know that's been my biggest concern about, making sure I have enough space, but also I don't want to spend, 5 bajillion years trying to backfill this memory keeper. So, yeah. And then I'm also looking for stickers and things to utilize as well. These are the big stickers from the big emoji stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I don't really like using them in like the vertical weeklies because they're just a little like too big and they take up just a little too much space. But I really like saving them for the journal. So whenever I'm working on my daily pages, I'll kind of go through and just check and make sure that I'm not missing anything and, I can't fill in a gap. I've had some really cool instances where I've kind of like looked through like my die cut stickers or my sticker things and sticker sheets and stuff, and I've really found some stickers to enhance the page. One of my favorites was a hockey game that I went to, and I had room in the middle. Like I kind of made a square outline of photos from the event, but I had room in the middle, and I found a really cool die cut sticker to kind of fit in there. So that's a really cool thing that I've done. And then, yeah, so the big thing has been kind of I have a feeling right now I'm trying to look at my iPad to kind of remember. The biggest thing is trying to remember which days things happened, like that matchup confirmation for the Amerks. I probably had to look that up to confirm what date that was. But like things like this charity softball game, the Micah High charity softball game that I went to, it was pretty easy to remember. And like May the 4th, like holidays like that is pretty easy to find. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then things like this, like I didn't have enough room on the 4th to put that in there, but that was tweeted very late on the 4th, but I didn't have room, so I just put it right next door on the 5th. And also, I think I'm going through now and washing for the week. I've been trying to declutter my washi tape stash. So I will go through and so it's not, the washi isn't all on the same spot. On the left side, I'll put it at the bottom, but on the right side, I'll put it at the top, and that kind of helps to combat the bulk a little bit too. But it'll be interesting to compare. I think my 2023, I used a full year cousin. So it must have been 2022 that I used the Avec. And I think my July through December is completely filled. So it'll be interesting to compare this with that one. But yeah, because I know the biggest issue was with my 2023 cousin and why I didn't use one in 2024 was the fact that it just got so bulky that you could barely write at the end, and it kind of discouraged like the last like month or two when I really was, there was a lot of like holiday parties and holiday events and things that I wanted to document, but it was kind of hard to get in there and stuff. So even though it's so appealing to have the full year in one book like that, but it's also nice too. The Vec has, there's nice things about that where, you can change it out. You get to change it up halfway through the year and put new stickers and stuff like that on there. So that's also kind of appealing with the Avec, but I feel like whatever planner system you're in, there's always pros and cons, and it's just, are the cons going to affect your ability to plan, I guess, is kind of what I go for. So yeah, a lot of my memory keeping is going back and forth between the weeklies and the dailies. I think those are the two big things that I'm looking for, is to kind of have the weekly be like the overview, kind of like, looking back, hey, what did we do on this date? And then if I want to go and like look at something a little bit more in depth, then turning to that daily page. But there are definitely some days where it's just, there's just nothing to talk about. And I mean, that's the nice thing about finding like memes and stuff like that, is the fact that I can, paste those in on days where it's kind of dull. But still, a big thing too is the fact that it's harder as you get farther away from the date to remember like feelings or, memories from that day. So I try and not do this much. I try and get in there, but there's just sometimes of the year where you're just so busy that you go like most of the week without even touching the planner, and then you're trying to remember things. And I think a big thing is just trying to keep the memory keeper as easy and manageable as possible, and being okay, especially with the Hobonichi Cousin, that, certain things are gonna go unused, and like being okay with that. I think that's a big thing, especially I know like with the daily pages, and just kind of trying to let go that it's not going to be perfect. But oh yeah, and then things, I like incorporating things like this where, this is a huge milestone. I mean, the newest NHL team finally has their, logo and mascot and everything all set. And so I wanted to make note of that. And this was the day that the Sabres announced that we have a special assistant to the general manager. So of course they had to pull in an office meme for that. One of the best episodes. Beach day. But I really like the Pentel Fude Touch sign pen. I think they're just nice to emphasize in such a small planner like this. And it's a nice, color palette, and I've been able to find, a marker for each month to kind of go with the theme. So that's been good. Yes, and then I had to pull in, I love the office emojis. I like that Helen from the Coffee Monster Co. has a lot of emojis from different TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I think that's very cool, and I like to have those on hand. Especially the Star Wars ones, I find. there's been a lot of Star Wars shows on and things like that, and it's nice to just make that stand out on the weekly spread, that, you know, I'm not just watching a regular TV show or movie, that it's like, you know, a big Star Wars event. Yeah, we've been watching Andor. I don't think there's many spoilers. I probably should have just like warned you all that there'd be Andor stuff, but sorry. And then these stickers, these like charcuterie and cafe stickers, those that you might have seen me pull out at the beginning, those were from when I was printing out my cover page for my personal planner. Those were supposed to, it was supposed to be the cover image where I just printed off one thing and then kind of cut the border, but I messed up and cut it the wrong, or I messed up and printed it the wrong size, so I just cut them up and I decided to throw them in my planner in different various places. And then I think we're getting close to the end. I think kind of just figuring out where to incorporate these last things. And then I think I believe I moved on to the weekly spread, which was a fun time. Yeah, I really like going on Pinterest and finding these images and stickers and stuff to kind of complement how I'm feeling about the month. So that's been a lot of fun. Yeah, and then I start to move over to the weeklies. So there's going to be like a big cut in a little bit, because I realize I'm filming on my phone, but I realized that I'm not going to be able to see. So I have this app, I think it's called Life Cycle, that I use to fill out, or it tracks, you know, what I've been doing all day. And the problem is I'm filming on my phone and I can only see it on my phone. So I had to stop and take a look at it and then write down on a Post-it note what I did that day and when I did it and all that. And then I'm able to come in and do this. So that is why. So yeah, this is the 5th through the 11th. And I'm just going through and filling it out based on that. And I have most of my stickers are in that folder on the bottom left, but then some of like the bigger ones are in the folder, and then I use these Hobonichi and Kokyo stencils. I'm trying to use the stencils for things that happen quite a bit, so I don't have to spend so much money on stickers. Like, I'm teaching like 3 times a week, and having all those music note stickers, like, it's gonna it's gonna take up a lot. So, and then I'm also trying to get rid of these title stickers, like the teach and all that, because that also, it's like there's a lot. I could be saving myself a lot of money. Like, I could just write it in myself, save a little bit of bulk and all that. So I'm trying to do that myself as well, but I don't want to throw out them, so I am just working on trying to bring that stash down. Then I'm looking for specific icons, and I believe I filmed this on the Wednesday, so it's not going to be the full week, but I will be getting by as much as I can. So yeah, this weekly log and this memory keeper is a log. Like, I don't do any pre-planning in here. I pretty much will go in after the fact and take care of this for the most part. So the only thing that really gets pre-made. It's pre-set up as the sidebar where I track sleep and mood. And for the most part, I literally just set up the base layout and then I fill it in whenever I get the chance. So, yeah. And then also with the stickers, that Coffee Monsters Co. book that you see now in the left-hand corner, the sticker release, those are also icons that I am trying to, I've condensed in there that they're nice. I don't need them. My main core set is in that folder or in the pocket, and it's just things that I'm just trying to use up as well. So go in there. And yeah, I'm just finishing this up and putting it all away, and that's really about it. So if you have any questions about this day in my Hobonichi Cousin, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.